TISM Talk time.
Going racing always makes me nervous. It's not about the racing, it's everything else around the racing. Navigating the social side of things is definitely the hardest part. People really don't understand how overwhelming it is. At the event, there's always a crowded registration tent. I stand in line, I'm fidgeting, people are laughing and chatting like super easily. It's really uncomfortable for me because I can't do that. I once heard someone describe it as that for an autistic person, it's like being in a room where everyone's speaking a language you don't fully understand. The irony of that is that I'm actually in a room where everyone is speaking a language that I don't fully understand. So it's kind of amped up for me because of where I live. I wouldn't change that for the world, though. I absolutely love where I live, and the people are incredible. It's just that it is a difficult thing that I have to deal with. There's a lot of noise, but to me, the expectations that I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, and especially when someone says something to me in a language and I think that I understand, so I go to do it, and it's not what they wanted me to do. That kind of stuff is really mentally exhausting for me, and it really makes me feel self-conscious. I don't know if that's the right word. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. There's this particular person at the registration tent that always talks. They always want to talk to me and say a bunch of stuff. And if you speak simply to me in Spanish, I will fully understand. But they always want to go and then change the subject really, really far in a different direction. And they lose me. And then they kind of look at me like, why don't you understand? That's the hardest thing for me, because I really wish that I could just say to them, I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you want me to do? And for them to be able to clearly and plainly explain it. That doesn't happen because I need to learn more Spanish, and it's really hard for me to learn Spanish. Learning another language is a whole nother TISM talk that I will get into, but for now, let's keep going with this. Finding a spot in the paddock, I hesitate. I know a lot of people have social anxiety, so this is a very relatable thing. It feels like everyone's kind of looking at you as you unload. And there's a good chance that they are. They're probably looking at your bike, whether they like it. They're probably looking at how you transported it, thinking, oh, that's interesting. I do it differently. Trying to make small talk with other riders, the conversation's always awkward with really long pauses. This is something that happens in English as well. I've practiced super hard to make it less so and to make people feel really comfortable when they talk to me. But I'm in Spanish and I'm already dealing with the translation. So when I'm speaking Spanish to someone, the awkward pauses are even longer because I'm translating their words. And then I'll say something that I want to be a joke. But if you don't know this, jokes don't typically translate, not because of the language, but because of the culture. So that makes it even more awkward. And eventually, the other person's going to have to walk away, right? I mean, we all have things to do. But when they do that, it makes me feel isolated. Like I'm constantly second guessing myself. Did I say the right thing? Did I act normal enough? Could I have done something different to make them laugh? Second guessing happens in my normal life too. There are times where I've run over the conversation in my head for days on end. This isn't like a one-time thing. But here comes the good part. When I'm out there on my bike with everyone else, it's just different. It's just me, them, the track. No misunderstandings, no judgments. Out there, we can all be ourselves, myself included. Maybe I bump into somebody. Maybe they bump into me. Maybe I cut someone off or I pass them. Maybe I clear a section that they are unable to clear, or vice versa. There's no hard feelings. We're all just out there doing something that we love. On the bike, I just am normal. And really, that's all I ever wanted.